Once we're prepared for that, the Maokai gets picked up by Ares, and we have the Yorick Ornn matchup in the top lane.
Yeah, he's on this does like these niche picks, and very interesting. I imagine both side lanes want to get pushed out with the Galio global as well. It will be interesting to see how these side lanes play out, and if Nocturne can affect them post 6. Nocturne out. If can he cleanse it to his nearby teammates? Like cleanse because can't you QSS like the darkness on Nocturne? I haven't really thought about that interaction.
I don't think if that's still an interaction. QSS used to remove debuffs like Mordekaiser, like old Mordekaiser ultimate, and Zed ultimate, which was pretty annoying for Zed players. But yeah, not sure about the darkness.
Any other interesting? We do see PTA Ezreal, which is the more sort of lane-oriented rune. But apart from that, everything's pretty standard. And looks like fairly standard level 1 as well.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
No real deep vision set up by either team.
It does look like the Maokai is going to be pathing away from his Caitlyn Milio, which interesting. Maybe he wants to play for an early game top lane. But if this Caitlyn Milio does get the push, they could be a bit under threat from a Nocturne. But Nocturne 3-6 doesn't have the best ganks, but certainly still can get.
Yeah, honestly, this is not something I expected. Unless, I mean, given how Caitlyn Milio will like to play out this lane, I don't think there's even like a gank opportunity for Maokai after free camp, so it's definitely Maokai just pathing away from this lane. If PlayBack recognize this, which probably they've already had, okay, that's a really good trade for Jaina Proud.
Yeah, and the punish for missing that W level 1.
So if PlayBack understand that Maokai is pathing away from this lane, then that is already, like, half the job is already done for them, and then maybe Nocturne can even find an angle 3-6. I mean, I'm not sure if that's... You know, maybe you can force a flash, but with these champions, I don't feel like it's going to be that sure of a kill. Right now, PlayBack bot lane actually pushing.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. I guess they did leash, but you usually expect double range to get the push versus melee, but interesting to see what happened there. Galio just tanking up all of Syndra's damage mid lane. We do have a ward on Nocturne's Raptors that just ran out, but he was probably spotted on the bot side.
Kind of surprising to me, at least, that Ornn just let up the push completely in this matchup. I mean, to me, it feels like Yorick is not... He is not an early game champion at all. And, like, level 1 especially, he's just not a champion. So, he's getting that push.
I definitely...
I don't know.
I think Ornn has more ability to push the wave early on, for sure. On his... all his spells are actually pretty good at pushing the wave. I guess maybe he's giving a lot of respect because he knows where Maokai is, or he's scared, or it's... Oh,
Okay.
there was an attempt made mid, but nothing will come of it.
Sleepy Twink susses out the gank nicely. But, okay, here comes another one, though.
Oh, second
Ares?
attempt. Will he flash? Oh,
Ares does
he didn't
not
want to flash for the... Interesting. Perhaps he didn't think they had the damage, but with... I think even so, is getting flash there would have been worse.
Yeah. I feel like if you flash early enough, just forcing out that flash from the enemy mid laner is plenty of value. Like Galio can set up these ganks, the repeat ganks, fairly easily with his gap closer. So, yeah, maybe just a little bit too gun shy there from AsstroSmurfs, but there's still plenty of time to make things happen here. The bot lane is doing what they were designed to do here.
Yep. Now, Maokai did get his base cancelled by them showing up mid lane. So Nocturne's already based with his pickaxe and is on his second round of camps. So he should be quite far ahead of the Maokai in tempo, especially in terms of getting level 6 first.
Yeah, there's one thing about... Oh, hold on. Maybe a good trade here.
Oh.
Arcane shifting in. Mystic shot.
Oh.
Pretty good stuff from Time Gear and M-Dip here, but you can see how much value an Enchanter can bring to the table.
We do see Nocturne spotted they got once again on that board. I believe it is Sapana placing him. So they should know Nocturne is on bot side again. You see the Maiden top lane, just top lane gaming in the isolation 1v1. Nocturne is looking for a hover. Oh, the ward just ran out. Can they dive this? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think PlayBack are not going to sweat it here. They have the push. They will just start the dragon.
Yeah, should be a free Drake. The Maokai behind on tempo on the map due to casting the space and doing a second cast without the recall. So this should be a free Drake.
Yep, Syndra keeps the Galio in check, so this should just be a dragon takedown or playback. First of this game. Yeah, what I was going to say about playback is that if there's one thing about them, apart from like the jungler visiting bot lane a lot, is that they do play around their jungler in a sense that they understand how big power spikes for carry junglers are. So they will just play lanes out calmly and just wait for him to actually reach those spikes so he can help them in turn. So looks like that is exactly what's happening. Playback not really going for anything, just waiting for that level 6 from the Nocturne. The Paranoia can come in and then you can start with some action on the map.
I think that's something that perhaps a lot of teams might struggle with sort of the difference between solo queue and 5v5 is it is a you don't need to win your 1v1.
Oh, here comes the first Paranoia, and it's going to head top lane. Yorick already without his flash, he's going to jump at Ornn and try to get a kill back here, but the first blood is going to Yusef on the Ornn here. Not quite what we expected. Look, the first gank coming top lane, but there's a return gank from AsstroSmurfs, forces out the flash, but not much else. So yeah, what we said about the junglers and where they were going to path, like the first gank, neither of them went bot lane. So we're already playing off script. Syndra just farming first strike here. That was a nasty combo on both of them. Okay. Oh, the playback jungler, really greedy, trying to get the Herald as well after that gank. Is it actually Nocturnes? Looks like AsstroSmurfs are protecting the eye, so Yeah, it did go to playback. We're trying to get it now, but it's about to run out. Okay. Oh, it just ran out. They didn't secure it. It was so close to being intercepted by either Syndra or Ornn, but this just didn't come to pass.
That does leave a very interesting map state now. With
Yeah, perhaps it was a little bit of an overstep by playback to try and force that after using your ultimates, but now they're going bot lane. They want to get this kill, but there's not enough damage between the Ezreal and the Rakan. Ezreal didn't want to commit in that spot. And here comes Sapana with his gank, accurate as usual. Playback punished for their over-aggression here.
Yeah, I feel like they just underestimated how much healing and shielding that the Milio can provide.
Yeah, it feels like Milio, I mean, at least in the UNL context, he's been away for a while, but I guess in Worlds we don't really see him either. This is a champion that can really get a lot of, like, he has this burst of healing and shielding that he can provide all at once. Here comes a gank onto Shield Twink, still flashless, remember. There's a lot of CC between the two of them, and also a lot of base damage. Shield Twink, he's actually turning it around! Hogswill's gonna come for the kill. Here comes Rakan as well, and it's just going to be a 2-for-1 for playback. Presses are at the right time, turns around the gank. They may have gotten the kill onto the Syndra, but it's the Nocturne that gets accelerated quite a lot from this play. And Stridebreaker on his next base right there, so that is a big, big purchase.
This Nocturne is really just such a strong position in the game. And if you're playing Yorick, that's what you are not going to be excited to see that he's not going to be able to do anything in a side lane this game, you feel like.
That's quite a tall task to move an Ornn, like, regardless of the champion you're playing. And then, like, AsstroSmurfs, we talked about the bot lane and that, how that could be potentially their primary win condition for this game. We haven't really seen them set up anything around this Caitlyn Milio. They were allowed to just quietly fall back a bit in this lane while stuff just happening around the map, but not around bot lane. Playback actually starting this dragon. AsstroSmurfs look ready to try and fight back here, but not quite decisive on being engaged. Now they come in. Maokai actually with a nice steal on that smite. Ares takes that one away. But look at the Ornn engage on the other side of the fight. Jaina Proudmoore completely isolated. Taken down by Time Gear. They may have taken the dragon, but how much can Playback get in response after they won the fight? Well, they kind of won the fight, but we're about to see how much they can take after this. Maybe some plates. There's also Yorick on the top side. It's not surprising that he hasn't joined this fight. He's just looking to get stronger.
I do really worry now for this AsstroSmurfs comp, especially since it is lethality Caitlyn. I do wonder what their plan is in terms of... They did get the Drake, but I'm really not sure what where they're going to find their advantages now.
I mean, yeah, all it did is just gave Caitlyn some AD. That amount of AD is also nerfed compared to 13, 19, you could say.
Right.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Not a lot of damage on the board for AsstroSmurfs. If you just take the Caitlyn out of the equation, what else can they really do?
Oh, there's a pause. Yeah, I think it was something I thought about during the pre-game draft. That yeah, there's not a lot of damage between. I mean, Galio and Maokai for more tanky champs do their fair share of damage, but it's not enough. And Caitlyn and you're a very single target. So things are looking rough for AsstroSmurfs set. However, there's always a way. And with especially when you have tools like Galio and Maokai, you can always catch
we're right into
out.
the action. Time Gear almost taken down here. Nice counter engage by MDip, keeping his AD carry alive, and that's gonna be that. And Jaina Proudmoore still has the ultimate ace into a hole already, but if he uses it here, then it's not going to amount to anything. Just a small freeze. We're gonna be back into the action shortly. It unfreezes on its own.
Yeah, very nice disengage. Alt W from MDip there, just to keep his ADC safe.
I mean, just as
But
a
again,
yeah, what were you gonna say?
every time we look at the spot lane, I think we see this Caitlyn on 1 HP. It's not what we're expecting when we saw the champ select. I feel like. Your looks
Bot
like
lane?
What?
Oh, there's another gank from PlayBack, this time towards mid lane, but it's just going to be the flash from Galio. Yeah, I mean, the way this game is progressing, the Ezreal has the lead and now he's just running away with it. We talked about how Ezreal, when he does have the lead, he can do a lot more. Like, this is a champion that if he's ahead of a curve, that's where, like, all his obnoxious tendencies really just come in. When he's not, he's like over leveled, not really as easy to one-shot him, does a lot of damage with just one item spike. Like, that's where this champion can shine. But like in a controlled environment where he's not allowed to just have these leads, it gets harder for him to play. I mean, this time AsstroSmurfs didn't really assist the Caitlyn Milio lane much at all, and that's what it led to. We're looking at a game state now where PlayBack are just controlling the map for the most part.
Yeah, I think as you said, Ezreal when he's ahead, he's just so oppressive to play against. Like, because he's doing a lot of damage and he's also just impossible to get on. If he has flash up and E up, like, you need the most perfect engage to punish him. And if the Ezreal player is good, he's not going to give you that engage. Especially if you look at the AsstroSmurfs team. Galio and Maokai, they have a lot of CC, but none of it's really hard engage. It's all very sort of situational follow-up or disengage. So, ever getting on this Ezreal looks very tough for this AsstroSmurfs comp.
Next Dragon's coming up. It looks like PlayBack will just want to play for the second Herald. Maybe they will try to fit both objectives in at once. AsstroSmurfs? They are gathering around this objective. They want to try and take this away. It's just going to go to PlayBack. And now it's PlayBack that are actually initiating the fight. AsstroSmurfs pretty much split across both sides here. Jaina Proudmoore had to flash the wall, so there's absolutely no damage from AsstroSmurfs coming in. This is a very awkward position. Ares has to flash the wall.
Though. Oh, the Owen blocks the Caitlyn ult.
Wow.
All things considered, what the... That fight doesn't look as bad as I thought it would for AsstroSmurfs, but...
Yeah, but the fact that they chose to take it is kind of puzzling to me, because like you could have just set up for the dragon instead and tried to trade objective for objective. Now PlayBack, they might just take both. You don't have
Was
your Maokai
unfortunate.
ult yet.
The Caitlyn was close to getting the shutdown onto the Nocturne, but the Ornn blocked the Caitlyn ult. But yeah, it's just going to be both objectives over to PlayBack as they continue a strong position in this game.
Yeah, and the mid tower on top of that while we were doing dragons, so PlayBack really just flexing their muscles on this map.
Because, yeah, AsstroSmurfs invested everything in that poor fight around the Herald. There's not even a cross-map play or anything to get anything back. This top tier 1 is still standing, by the way. York was close to winning it like 3 minutes ago, and he's just not been able to finish it off.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, if you're Yorick, you just kind of walk up to it and just hit it. Especially now that okay, maybe that was not the time to hit it. Here comes the Nocturne. Oh no, Caster Curse!
Caster Curse.
Oh, I guess you have to know the jungler's positioning beforehand before you decide to do that, because Nocturne has his funny R ability that he can press when it's off cooldown, and that's usually a free kill if the laner's overextended.
He even just summoned his maiden, so the Nocturne got a double kill. Oh, yeah, that is. It is always going to be hard this game for York to ever walk up against a Nocturne Ornn in the side lane. The Ornn just presses R, Nocturne presses R. And the York's just not strong enough to 2v1 that, even with his maiden.
And that puts AsstroSmurfs in an even tougher situation. Your bot lane's behind. Your top laner can't really employ the playstyle that he would like to, because Ornn and Nocturne, whenever they have their ultimates, you can't really side lane safely if you don't have coverage. This is like, yeah, AsstroSmurfs being strangled here. They're like trying to find angles, but so far they haven't really been successful with their initiation. It does just feel like they don't have enough gas in the tank when it comes to damage.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go again. That Nocturne ultimate just came back up.
It's already back up.
Hasn't even been a minute.
I'm guessing that
Hawksbill takes another.
This York is not having a good time. Yeah, he's
going
got,
straight towards the Baron. They're just trying to force Galio's TP. AsstroSmurfs do see this. They have vision.
Maokai is on his wolves right now. It doesn't look like they're going to contest it at all.
Well, no, the TP is coming out.
Very delayed.
Oh, but Jaina Proudmoore gets some damage in, but yeah, look at AsstroSmurfs. They are far away from this fight. Galio initiated, but there's nothing to follow that up with, and that just means PlayBack have free reign onto the backline because the cavalry's arrived. The TP delayed from the Yorick. He's coming in to salvage something, but like, you're left alone here, and you have to run away yourself. So 2 teleports, none of them successful.
At that point, as Yorick, you just maybe TP bot and try play for bot tier 1 or something. But
yeah, you saw how the fight went. Like, you have to observe how the fight's going to go. If it's going that badly, just look for a cross map, because now PlayBack have just gotten absolutely everything just out of that Baron attempt. Well, is it a successful attempt? They're just going to take it. And that gold lead has pretty much turned from, like, maybe manageable to now pretty much game-winning.
Yeah, there's not even really any fallback insurance on the AsstroSmurfs side in their composition. Their Maokai Galio don't really have the damage to kill people. Caitlyn Very
Go
single
for
target.
Dragon
Oh.
setup, trying to catch out Playback before they can get onto the objective, but these ultimates don't really mean much, and now look at what Sleepy Twink's doing on the other side of his fight, and now the paranoia is coming in, Playback with a re-engage, and Asriel just gets all the time in the world to get the DPS down, and AsstroSmurfs, once again, they try to, like, be the ones with the initiative, but it's just not working. Oh, Horn's looking for another kill, but okay, that's a field goal. That did not hit anyone. Oh, Time Gear really looking for it. Didn't quite find it this time. Yeah, while all of this is happening, there's the Mountain Drake being taken, so Playback, once again, just taking care of multiple things at once. AsstroSmurfs, now that they don't have their ultimates, they're just kind of helpless watching this all unfold. Low health bars on some of their champions too. Just a sad state of affairs. It feels like the team, not sure really what the initial idea was in draft, but they kind of went just in multiple directions. Didn't really, there's no real cohesion, feels like, inside of his draft, and that's what's creating these problems for the team. Now they'll try to force something on the side lane, but Ace in the Hole comes out. It's going to get cancelled. But it should come out very quickly for the Caitlyn. It's a 1-for-1 trade, actually. The Syndra takes down the Galio in the process, so even in this situation, Playback actually gets one back. Oh, T-Zums may have just gotten surprised by the Playback bot lane, but he does have his Hullbreaker. Oh, but the Nocturne does not want to let him survive. He's jumping in, but was that a little bit too hasty from the Playback jungler? Jaina Proudmoore gets the support instead. So far, Playback kind of wasting away their Baron buff by looking for kills or not being synced around the map. Now Yusuf coming in. The new challenger approaches, but once again, he's the one being hit by all 5 members of AsstroSmurfs here. He's going to fall next. This is Playback just kind of letting their hands off the wheel here. And just not playing good League of Legends right now. Still 8,000 gold behind, but these 2 kills, especially on the Caitlyn, feels like they do go a long way. But now maybe an important pick from Playback. That execute on the Unleashed power coming in. Now, there's still a long way towards this objective, but any kind of pick like this just naturally creates a lot more freedom for Playback to move around and do their thing. This bid inhib is still standing, and they want to take it down, it looks like, but it is Liz a little bit too far forward here for the Asriel. Maybe they want to reconsider. Especially when the Ornn is in the side lane getting the push.
I just had a power outage, so I did not see the last few minutes of gameplay. I have just returned. Apologies.
Yeah, well, Playback took Baron, but afterwards they kind of just didn't do much with the Baron apart from, like, dying multiple points. So we're still Had a playback advantage, but AsstroSmurfs are holding on to their base. I mean, the fact that Yorick is just kind of awkwardly standing around here instead of just, you know, actually being in a sideline with his Hullbreaker. If you're going to draft this champion, it feels like you just have to commit to what you chose to go for.
Get this, maybe the play would here would be try and get this Nocturne ultimated up before the Drake fight on the side lane or something. Yeah, I think, you know, even if it's a bit on the inside, you have to try make something.
Trying to go for a pick, but we will get punished instantly by the Nocturne ultimate. The first pick is going to come in. Will be onto the Galio. Hawksbill actually taking a lot of damage. In response, he will be the one to fall first. But Syndra and Ezreal are still standing, and they are the ones that can deal a lot of damage. Especially to the enemy backline. T-Zums almost falls from that two-shot barrage. Nice combos from Jaina Proudmoore. He's actually keeping this one still alive for the AsstroSmurfs team.
The Caitlyn just got a lot of gold from that team fight.
Yeah, but here comes the Mountain Soul.
Yeah, that is not going to be fun for the Caitlyn to play against. But AsstroSmurfs showing some signs of life here, which I think, regardless of how this game finishes, is promising for the rest of the series.
Doesn't feel like they can stop this dragon in time. It will just mean Mountain Soul for playback. Oh, hold on, they just let this one go. Maokai takes away the dragon. We're still in the game.
Yeah, that is massive. It's also an objective bounty, so that's even more gold. And another kill for Caitlyn as well.
So Caitlyn taking another kill. Ornn with a long death timer. They're going straight on to Baron. Now playback. Finally the ones that will be forced to respond. Instead of AsstroSmurfs just playing this cat and mouse game, it's now playback having to respond to the Baron attempt. But still, AsstroSmurfs, they have to be careful.
They're on their way.
Oh, Paranoia's back off cooldown. Does feel like Nocturne will just try to jump in at the earliest opportunity.
Oh, the Ezreal.
Maokai ult creates some space, but True Shot Barrage is doing a lot of damage to the backline as well. Rakan Engage comes in. It's onto Jaina Proudmoore. There's no follow-up. It's just Rakan onto the backline. But still, it's the front line that dies first for AsstroSmurfs. Ares has his life taken away. The TP behind the enemy lines, actually. Look at what Ornn is doing here. Straight onto the Caitlyn. Still alive, though. Doing a lot of damage, but her allies are slowly falling one by one, and it's playback who win the fight in the end. And with the mid-inhib tower already gone and these long death timers, we'll just finish the game off. The first game goes to playback.
Yeah, a very nice flank at the end there from Yusuf coming all the way from Narnia to just clean up the fight. It looked a bit shaky towards the end, but I think you see Ornn items starting to come in on Nocturne and Ezreal. It's, even with the little bit of a comeback and fight AsstroSmurfs showed, it always looked like it was going to be a bit too tough. But I think they can take that going to the next game, knowing that perhaps with a bit of a different draft or a bit of a different gameplay in the early game, they can make a series out of this. Especially like Fizz Nocturne, you press R on someone, Nocturne comes in after, or like Ornn comes in after. The Kled, okay, now this, the Kled does provide them with some vital engage options that they wouldn't have had before, but I think in general, they're going to be trying to kite out. I'm very interested to see how the squad lane goes. From what I do know, I think Vayne is pretty good into Ezreal in terms of she can just destroy him in the 1v1, but Rakan's very good into Braum, so...
Yeah, that's something you usually see on Orianna as a defensive choice. Not much on Syndra, but I guess Sleepy Twink feels like the matchup warrants it.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
think this is the first time I see phase rush on Syndra.
I think I've been seeing it a lot in Korean solo queue, but I think every mage is just running phase rush in Korean solo queue since all the rune nerfs. Like I see it on Vex, Talia, Orianna, Syndra. Every mage that gets played, I see phase rush. Yeah, as expected, obviously. You want to take the Ignite on the Fizz.
Minions have spawned.
You do see a stopwatch in Syndra's inventory, so looks like she did go for that in runes. So we'll look to pick up an early Zonia's, I imagine, second.
Already zoning off of the first wave of minions, or at least attempting to. But yeah, Fizz passive will nullify some of that damage coming in.
Yeah. And this early lane for Fizz is just all about trying to stay healthy and play for the bounce, obviously, and do what you can. So you can try and punish the Syndra at level 3 on the bounce wave. So we'll see how successfully he can do that.
Azrael Rakan getting level 2, but this time it feels like it's expected. Yusuf going for a big trade onto Ornn, but he's trading right back. I mean, obviously Kled is no stranger to just going ham, because that passive just allows him to take trades like that and still coming out on top.
Very nice W on the bot lane from MZip.
Yep. Blizzard's back up.
I picked the Lizard Scarl is back. Okay, I do think this is getting in dive territory for Kled. I guess it depends on how much Dorn has the pot, and he should be fine actually. But yeah, be interesting to see how much Yusuf knows his limits on this champion. Because that one's low. There's funny dives you can go for.
Yeah,
but
this is the one champion that, just like any other champion, the kind of plays Kled would make would just look like you're straight up running it down. But Kled, that's just what he does.
That's the correct way to play. Yeah.
That is the correct way. And the thing is, if you're like trying to transition into other champions, it feels like you're you gotta readjust.
Why am I? Why am I not winning the game doing this?
Like, I'm tower diving him level 3, why is it not working? Oh, wait. Yeah, it is just a completely different game when you're playing Kled. But right now we see Ornn just chilling.
Mm-hmm. It does look like mid lane. Fizz managed to stay very healthy. He hasn't used any pots or anything. But Syndra also seemed to survive the bounced wave, but is low on mana. So, nothing of excitement there. And the Fizz goes for boot stock till first place. Okay. We'll give him a lot of potential snowball this game, if any skirmishes break out.
Is Vayne Bronling slowly weathering the storm?
I do think it's going to be pretty hard for him to do any punishes in the laning phase, as Rakan is notoriously pretty hard for Braum to deal with.
Oh, this time to get the grand entrance in.
Oh.
Ignite popped, but is not a kill.
really not what you want to be happening, but he survived and will live to see another day. I think Vayne mostly just wants to try and get to her items.
Ares is trying
So
to
as long
pressure
as she
here
can do that.
at the right time. Fizz
Oh.
will most likely hit 6 pretty soon. Should be a couple more minions.
Sleepy Twink still has not based. Really wants her to reset, but being very greedy doesn't want to TP, I guess. If this wave stays like this when Fizz hits 6, it's going to be very hard to roll. He should have his lost chapter in base now. Another grand entrance found by MDib. I don't know how much he usually plays this champion, but this series he's looked very proficient on it.
I mean, he's had a fair bit of practice on the champ. It's mostly just engaged supports that we've seen it on this season.
Yeah, it's his Alistar and Maokai are usually what come to mind.
There was also a Nautilus. Sabana going in with Jumbo
Nautilus,
Waters,
yes.
but that burst combo, not really enough to threaten the kill.
Yeah, you usually want to get some trades beforehand for you, but this perhaps isn't too bad even.
Yeah, if Syndra just gets to base here... Oh, she still had TP saved up, so that's not good. But okay,
Yeah,
here comes the
looks like-
Ornn.
Oh,
Bled cancels that with his own ultimate, so no harm, no foul.
yeah. I did not see this Syndra did not TP back after. I really actually wonder what happened there. Because the wave looked like in a very bad spot for her, so I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, it looked for a second like Sleepy Twink was gonna be in a lot of trouble, but then he just gets bailed out. Like the Fizz was not quite, did not hit 6 at the same timing, so Nocturne did not find an angle to gank. And then, like, I guess the wave just kind of bounced back slowly. That gave Sleepy Twink plenty of time to just come back into the lane with his TP saved up, so that is just... He dodged a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been worse.
And now he managed to get 2 base.
Well,
He
we're
managed to
coming
get
back
a
in,
base hit fan. Oh,
but that's just half health.
the one advantage of doing this is that it gives the Fizz a lot more ease of access to crashing the wave and being able to base and stuff. As it's a lot harder for the Syndra to go for poke and stuff on the Fizz when she's half health. Because there's always the threat then. But preferably you'd want to be using that in combination with your jungle.
That forces out a flash from Yusuf. Kind of surprising, honestly. Playback.
I'm guessing he didn't have Q up. Oh. Very quiet early game. I guess it's Vayne, Ezreal, and 2 farming junglers. It's not the most surprising, but I'm surprised we haven't seen a Nocturne ult yet,
Oh,
especially around the mid
Yusuf
lane.
gonna stack his Lizard. Gonna come back in, but here comes Call of the Force God. It's just ult versus ult, but that point-blank ultimate from Kled doesn't really do much damage. It's going to be a solo kill for T-Zums in the top lane, just like that. T-Zums on the Ornn,
And the
as
gods-
solid as ever.
The god of the UNL top lane, Ornn strikes again.
Yeah, this guy on Ornn is like PB&J. You just can't go wrong with that. Always works.
This, when will Ornn's stranglehold on UNL top lane end? Yeah, it looks like just I think the Ornn had Bombies and Chain Vest there against the Fam Scepter. So this nice item advantage, obviously, of using Ornn's passive there.
Oh. Really nice tumble there from Jaina Proudmoore, predicting the engage that would come in. That's gonna relieve some pressure, but it still gives PlayBack the push for this dragon. It will most likely just be taken with Syndra also having priority in the lane. Stefano's looking, but he's all alone in this fight. Jump the Waters comes out, it whiffs completely. Beckla's still here. Oh, Hawksbill a little bit confused there, looking for something, but he's left out by his own team. The ultimate doesn't really provide much assistance for them, and now, oh no. Could be even more picks for AsstroSmurfs as Fizz dives in. Everyone follows right after Sapana finally gets his ban. That's 3 kills already for AsstroSmurfs. We want to keep going. Unleash Power will get at least 1 for PlayBack. But this looks like just another kill. Playful Trickster, Electrocute procs. He's gonna come in for the last auto attack. Oh, the stopwatch! Are you kidding me? He stays alive with that stopwatch he took from his runes. That's about as high value as you're gonna get.
The craziest part is the stopwatch literally just came up from the runes. I'm pretty sure the stopwatch literally just came up from the runes. I'm not sure if the cooldown got shortened as soon as Fizz died in the takedown.
Oh, Jaina Proudmoore in a 1v2, but this does not look like a 1v2 he can win. Gonna deal some damage to the Ezreal, but that's about it.
Yeah. He's in a tough spot trying to reset the wave, but we'll get punished. One thing we saw in that fight that I didn't think about too much was just actually, Nocturne Braum can be pretty lethal, but also Fizz Braum passive with the auto reset on his W can be very lethal in these skirmishes.
You already see Crown of a Shattered Queen on Syndra.
Yeah. It's a pretty good pick up this game, I think. There's not really any way for them to break it unless they somehow walk into a Braum queue. Or Ornn commits his ultimate. So we'll definitely be feeling safe.
This feels like a Crown, maybe a candidate for a Crown game, as rare as that is. But yeah, regardless, we're going to see a Tizum's ultimate come out to try and stop Yusuf from proxying, and he's just going to get punished for his little crimes here in the top lane. Ares is the executioner of his time on the Nocturne. This time the Nocturne is on the other side of the map, so PlayBack don't just get to collect free kills.
I do respect it. I do respect it from Yusuf. He's playing Kled like the only way you can play Kled, but it's not working out too well for him. Not too sure about the proxy there, especially now Ornn and Sunfire. It's
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Oh, they will just go on to the Braum, but he's mighty tanky with Unbreakable. PlayBack is around to keep the play going, but still quite a bit of time until the dragon comes up. They will just take the red buff for themselves. I'm wondering about this itemization for Syndra, because it looks like it's going to be as long as afterwards. Is that going to be enough damage in the mid-game fights?
The way I see it is, obviously it feels really bad, but also how does Syndra play the game against Ornn, Nocturne, Fizz otherwise, Sure, on paper, she can deal a lot more damage with better builds, but that damage doesn't matter if she just gets one shot, If she can survive the initial burst and get a QE off, that can actually have an impact on a fight. I feel like that's a lot better than the miracle situation where she doesn't get engaged on and can actually use her spells. But
That's getting severely outtraded here. Lizam still had enough mana to cast his ultimate, but Yusef comes back with his passive charge once again.
he doesn't have any mana though. What he commit to this? He does have no.
Well, Paranoia comes out. They don't see him until now. Yusef flashes away, but he's feared under tower. He's going to get cut down. And AsstroSmurfs, it looks like they will get their first turret here in the top side of the map. These will just get the solo gold on that, while PlayBack are stacking dragons.
Quite the rough game in the top lane, but especially on a champion like Kled, doesn't really have much value from behind. But I think PlayBack do have tools to still get back into this game. This Ezreal's farming well and he's pretty strong. The Syndra's pretty strong. Lily has the Andrews. I think a lot will be decided here at this next fight we see in the game. Interesting. We see the Proto bottom phase.
Yes.
I did think Ludens was built on him these days, but
Oh. The sleep onto the Nocturne forces out the flash. PlayBack want to keep this fight going. T-Zum's on the other side with his ultimate. But can they save the Nocturne? The answer is no, and the stun from Sleepy Twink is so good onto Jaina Proudmoore. That has to be what decides the fight here. AsstroSmurfs scattered across the whole map here. They will get at least one, but Sapana... Oh, he doesn't jump up. Oh, what is... Surely they get this kill. Please tell me they get this kill. Oh, he dips and dodges one last time before the Q is going to finally get him to 0. Yeah, that was a nice juke, maybe unintended. You know, the way he didn't jump the wall and then the blast cone followed because they thought he would actually jump the wall. That was like secretly 5-hit.
very good fight for PlayBack though, especially considering the state of how top lane is this game. But that's 4 kills now for this Syndra. She is very strong in this game. And those 4 kills, you know, will probably make the defensive itemization feel a bit less worse if he can get to a third item quicker. But just looked like a uncoordinated pick there. They were trying to get onto the Lilia, and PlayBack would just quicker the fight.
Yeah, if you're AsstroSmurfs, your engage needs to be well coordinated. Like, one ultimate directly follows another, and you like focus one target, and you have to be absolutely certain that they go down, and it's, you know, an important target actually. You know, if you, let's say you waste everything on a Kled, like that's just a dead Kled, but now you don't have Nocturne R, you don't have Fizz R, and you probably don't win. So like, they need to pull the trigger fast, and they also need to do it at the right time. Like, you know, sounds easy, but may not be as easy if you don't if you're not given these opportunities by the enemy team.
Also, not to be, you know, constantly going about the crown, but now that Syndra does have a 400 gold shutdown, I do feel like the Crown's Onions does have a lot of value as well. In terms of denying that. But yeah, I feel like the Nocturne, if he's ever going on someone, it needs to be coordinated with either one of his, you know. It needs to, as you said, that person has to die when you decide you're going on them. And it has to be the correct target.
And yeah, you can't rely on your Vayne to carry fights for you either, yet, because she's still at the phase where she's looking for Stormrazor and the Mythic afterwards, I imagine. Sivana going in onto the Kled, but, you know, even with just Ravenous Hydra, this Kled can actually fight back.
Yeah, Kled does spike very hard.
Not as easy to burst down.
Doesn't have any magic resist, but
Blizzard came back
Fizz
up.
doesn't have the
Nice.
greatest extended damage. Build is rude.
Yeah, with Kled, you're if you're Fizz, you're pretty much required to kill him in 2 rotations. So if you open with your R, it's like, that feels like a bit of a waste.
Also, it's
Well, we're gonna try and kill him again. I don't think this passive is up yet for Yusuf, so okay, it is back up, but they have enough burst damage to take him down this time.
very nice.
So just
With
a small pick.
Fizz, I feel, and unless you have backup with you, you kind of need to land the medium to large R to actually kill somebody. Unless you're like super fed or have backup with you. The small R doesn't do enough damage really for you to have kill threat on someone who's pretty healthy.
PlayBack securing the vision. Getting the push in the mid lane as well. Yusuf has his TP ready. Now he's going to catch that wave before he decides to TP to the fight. Looks like he will have to because AsstroSmurfs are looking to fight for this objective. Oh, look at the stun! Oh my god. Got me into a cuffing fit because of how good it was.
The stun killed
Sleepy Twink! Holy moly.
Oh my.
That just ended the fight. We were getting ready for like a big showdown, and then Syndra just QEs and she's like, nah, hold this L. Sit down.
Very, very, very nice positioning there. He knew what entrance they were coming from and just sat in that without a bush there and waited for them to come in. Found a very nice stun. That should be a third Drake on their way to Soul. It is Cloud Soul, not the greatest Soul, but I'm sure Kled, Lilia, Rakan notated, I guess. Maybe Syndra if she wants to ult and disengage.
Something win rate. You know.
Cloud Soul win rate, yeah. I mean, it's not Hextech Soul, you know? So, not Hextech, sorry, it's not Chemtech Soul, so you take it. Looks, yeah. It is going to be a Stormrazor into Triforce from the Vayne, it looks like. Still not quite there. I've been seeing a lot of ADCs building Stormrazor lately. I do wonder if that's strong on the Vayne. I'm guessing it is if you just Q Stormrazor every time. Keep rocking it. With the Sheen proc as well once you get that.
Yeah, the small plus 580 buff definitely helps in conjunction with Shiv getting nerfed like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
People are looking for alternatives.
Gives her a nice bit of burst damage when she wants to Q and poke people. That kind of items really close to coming on this mid support, mid ADC for AsstroSmurfs. They'll be really looking for that.
Time here.
Oh.
Uses Arcane Shift as a signal for AsstroSmurfs to try and force a fight, and they will do so successfully. Big knockout for Ornn, but it doesn't feel like... Okay, there are the first 2 kills. Sleepy Twink's still alive, but actually AsstroSmurfs managed to initiate the fight successfully, and they get 4 kills out of it. Should be followed by the Baron. Sleepy Twink, he TP'd in, but when he did, the fight was pretty much decided. PlayBack prepping for Baron, they went 1 step too far. And this is AsstroSmurfs right back in this game.
That's perhaps, again, PlayBack just lack of discipline showing here. They gave AsstroSmurfs and this composition the exact type of fight they already wanted, you know? They just ran
hold
force.
Oh wow, they felt like they did not have the damage to finish this off. They backed off from the Baron. They will not take the Baron.
I'm very surprised. I definitely think they could have finished it.
Like,
perhaps
maybe
they're worried about Syndra being about, but...
Yeah, but surely you knew that Syndra TP'd to the fight. You saw her in the side lane not too long ago. And then Kled ulted in that fight. So it's not like he can bring his team with him.
Yeah, I feel like given the position in the game you were in, you really want to take that Baron. I feel like, even if it is a bit riskier, like I feel like you just go for the, especially considering Cloud Soul is up in a minute and a half. Now you're gonna have to fight them again at Cloud Soul. But if you had the Baron, you probably could have gotten the Drake for free if you had a good Baron push. Very surprising decision, and perhaps one that AsstroSmurfs will look back on if they don't go on to win this game.
And we saw the, like, I saw some pings from PlayBack as well, some red pings. They were like, huh? What's going on? I thought they were just gonna take Baron, but, like, I guess they themselves were surprised about what happened here. That just means we're...
the only... Maybe, like, they thought Syndra's a belt and Kled was up soon so he could TP, because they didn't track his TP timer? Or, I don't know. It was very, very odd. Maybe one we can ask them about after this series. We do see these 2 item power spikes coming through now for AsstroSmurfs, which they didn't actually have for that fight that they won. Was the item advantage on the side of PlayBack. Ezreal just had completed his 2 items. So it was a very big fight for them. And now we will see this Drake. So will they contest this? I think they want to.
Oh. Time Gear is going to pop Syndra's crown, but look at the sleep on the other side of the fight. Hawksbill sets that up beautifully. Jaina Proudmoore does not have cleanse, so just falls down immediately. Counter engage is pretty good from AsstroSmurfs. Look at what Ornn's able to do, but it's still PlayBack winning the fight because of the Ornn and the Lilia saving the day. Sleepy Twink and Time Gear both fell, but it didn't matter in the end. PlayBack win the fight. It was close, but they come out on top and they will get Dragon Soul. This puts them just that 1 step closer towards finishing out this series.
Very, very nice again from PlayBack. I do think there seems to be an unfortunate situation that developed because the top wave was in a bad spot before the Drake was spawning, so the Ornn couldn't be there before the fight, so he had to TP in, which really just left his team in a vulnerable decision, I think.
Yeah, it's once again PlayBack finding a creative angle to get a win in a fight. First it was Syndra, now it was Valilia with the sleep. And that just made me realize I think Vayne not having cleanse this game feels like a misstep in champ select.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I just noticed it. Yeah, you're against Syndra, Lydia, even Rakan Chon. Like,
Yeah, that just leaves you with fewer options in fights. We saw what happened just now. Like, you have Ghost, but it's not saving you from the sleep. That's, like, might as well be a point-and-click ability.
I feel like you don't even need the Ghost with the amount of engage you have and with Triforce movement speed and everything. Like, very greedy auction.
We'll see if it costs them in the end. AsstroSmurfs, despite everything that happened, they are still in it to force game 3 here. Vayne's still scaling. Nocturne's still in a decent position. Fizz, he will have threat onto the backline no matter what if he finds some kind of opening. I mean, the crown will prevent him from doing, like, a lot of damage up front, but maybe if AsstroSmurfs get a good initiation with the rest of their tools that they have, maybe they can prevent... Oh! Well, as I say that, PlayBack just take the Baron, and there's no fight to be had, they just take it for free.
PlayBack showing AsstroSmurfs how you
And now it's
Baron Nashor.
actually PlayBack initiating the fight themselves. Ares will be the first to fall. Look at Sapan and where he is in the fight. He's trying to get Ezreal, but nothing is going to come out of that. And onto the back line go PlayBack. Once again, Vayne left without a cleanse summoner spell. It just means she's dead meat. And PlayBack completely stopped this fight after taking Baron. The death timers are long. It's 30 minutes in. They have the wave. This is just game over. Series over. PlayBack are the first team to make Grand Finals in Season 9.
Yeah, and you can't argue it's not deserved. This team's just so dominant. The only time you feel like the game isn't going well for them is when, you know, they're choosing for it not to go well for them themselves. But once this team are actually being serious, it's just, they look so dominant.